Hello and welcome to the TwoFatBrokers podcast. I'm Ben from Abu Dhabi.
I'm Barney from Dubai.
And today we're going to be talking about AI, artificial intelligence.
We just said money laundering. What are you doing?
No, we just said AI.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We're just going to talk about AI because AI is the new thing that everyone's jumping on. Just recently, ChatGPT fired their CEO. They then brought him back, Sam Altman. And so it's not only is it very much in the news at the moment, but it's also one of those things that's kind of like the new blockchain, the new Bitcoin.
Well, the revolt in ChatGPT was that Altman had left.
Yeah.
And the staff were revolting because they wanted him back.
They kicked him out, the board of directors. And anyway, the UAE actually, and I didn't even realize this, has a very strong AI program called Falcon that they're working on.
Such a unique name.
Well, yes. I mean, don't know what to say. Names change all the time. So how can AI affect, help, hinder real estate in the UAE? Got any thoughts on that, Barn? Because I know I got thoughts.
Yeah, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to acquiesce. I'm going to relinquish the stage to your gigantic Cambridge-educated brain.
Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
You're so bashful all of a sudden.
Can't believe you remembered I went to Cambridge. So thankful right now. So obviously the main there's a ton of use cases for AI. The main one that people have been working with at the moment is ChatGPT, which is the language model of AI. So what you can actually do, and I've got a meeting about this tomorrow, and we're looking at doing this as well, is you can build your own, because it's all open source. You can build your own, not me, because I have no idea how it works, but you can employ someone to build.
You're not open source.
Your own. No, not yet. You can build your own language model, artificial intelligence chatbot. So you basically chuck in a load of information, and let's say, so what we're doing at the moment is a lot of information about buying property in Abu Dhabi, and you chuck in a lot of information. It can be in lots of different formats. It can be video, it can be Word documents, it can be PDFs, things like that. Then the AI bot reads all of that, and using the functionality from ChatGPT, you can then ask it questions. Where can I buy in Abu Dhabi? What kind of
Has your
property
information
can I
been
ask?
peer reviewed, Ben, and published? This is your thing about information that gets passed on. You'll only accept it if it's been peer reviewed and published.
Yeah, but that's like, that's conspiracy theories. This is actually something that works.
They're not conspiracy theories, Ben. They're just alternative facts.
So you can put all this information in your little chatbot, and then you can put it on your website, and you can say to people, hey, do you have a question about buying in Abu Dhabi that you don't want to call up, a broker about because you're worried that they're going to sell you whatever it is they have down their trousers, in their pockets. You can just ask the chat bot, like what are mortgage rates at the moment? Where can I get a mortgage from? How much, do I have to borrow? Where can I buy? Can I buy a villa? Can I buy land? All this kind of stuff.
It's going to be quite.
And it'll be able to respond to you.
You'll have to keep it up to date, like constantly.
To a certain extent, yeah. But as long as you control the information that it's looking at, because you can just
you want to be the next
corral the
Rupert Murdoch of
information.
real estate in Abu Dhabi, controlling the information.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But and you can also get it to look out at the web. And obviously, you don't really want to do that because then you can't control what it finds in the web and all the misinformation that there is out there. So as long as it's only looking at the information that you give it and that you keep that up to date, then it can really understand questions in all kinds of different formats. It can do it in Arabic, even though what we've given it is English. It should be able to answer questions, read them in Arabic, translate them, and answer them correctly in Arabic.
Tricky because of the grammar and the.
Yeah, but that's the power of artificial intelligence.
Because I've done the whole copy paste English to Arabic thing, and it never turns out very well.
Yeah, so this is what, and we're doing a couple of tests on it on Thursday. This is what we should be able to see and eventually I think developers will be able to use it where they put all the information about their projects. Let's say Iman puts all the information about all its projects, so you can just go in there and say, oh, look, what's the service charge of this, tower, or when was this built, or how can I buy one of these? And it has all of that information curated, and it can answer the questions really fully and effectively.
So that's one facet, a very interesting one. How else?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that I've mostly.
You said you had
gone out.
loads.
Those are my thoughts.
I acquiesced in my position on this topic to you so you could pitch. Mate, it's a very good idea. If I'm going to be honest with you, it is a very good idea.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea. I mean, so the most common way that people understand AI is this language model, the ChatGPT, where you just basically ask it questions in lots of different kind of ways and formats, and it does things for you. But presumably, you can then take that to the next level and say, okay, can you find me, crawl the internet, crawl Bayeux Property Finder, this, and find me 5, best priced, best return studios, even taking into account service charge, and it, could go out and do that and bring those listings.
Is it intelligent enough to do that now? I suppose is it assuming all the information is available on the internet. I mean, what does Property Finder have? Yeah. Property Finder have a graph at the bottom of Property Finder that tells you, if you're looking for something to buy, what its previous transaction values have been for the unit that you're looking at. And it also has it for rentals too. So, I mean, if that kind of information is available on just Property Finder alone, ChatGPT should, in theory, be able to use that kind of information. The service fees will be available online through all of the websites. There's no reason why you can't just put your criteria into ChatGPT now and it comes up. But then you have the old fake listing issue, which don't exist anymore. But they definitely do.
You need to build the model, right? So you could build a model because I think, let's say all sales transactions are available through the land department, right?
Correct.
Are all rental transactions available as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So you could put all that information into a ChatGPT model and then say like, okay, what's the best return, 2-bed on in the marina? And it will be able to spit that out for you and say, okay, based on the previous transactions, when I compare them with the rentals,
what should I be paying? Which would be even more.
So that's something we really want to do is try and build this model to be able, like, for our own ends as well, and say, so we've got this unit for sale. What's it going to transact at? What's it going to sell at? What's other stuff sold at recently? Because we need to have a conversation with the seller and say, listen, you think this thing's worth 7 million. The past transactions have been at 5.8. That's where it needs to be.
I don't understand these small numbers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I've never sold anything at 5.8 million. I'm more of a 2.2 man.
I mean, if used correctly, it can be a very good tool for everybody in the market. The issue being is that if the information isn't accurate. Yeah,
and that's if you're an end user, you need to be worried a little bit about, okay, because this isn't crawling the so the one that we built, for example, is not going to crawl the internet. It's going to crawl only the information we give it. So we could give it erroneous information and say like, oh, all the best deals are only, exclusively with us, and guide people to us that way. So that kind of thing, because another thing that we really want to do. Well, another thing that we want to do is do internal training with it, because our agents are always asking, I've got this budget, where can I look, that kind of stuff, or is there a swimming pool, or what levels of swimming pool on, and what the service charges and that kind of stuff. So you could have an internal training model like that, because again, also from our perspective, you don't want to offer the client too much information, because then they're like, well, why do I need a broker? So at some point, we would also limit it to like 7 questions per user, and then say, okay, so maybe you should give us a call.
It's an AI system solely for the real estate market of your chosen city.
Yeah. You can build it like that, or you can open it up wider. But obviously, the testing that it would need to go through would be like enormous to make sure it's not pulling the wrong thing. So yeah, so we would have ours focused on Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi is a relatively small market, so we could actually at some point start to feed in all the information on all the projects, have all the floor plans in there, have all the sizes, have all the service charges. Well, no, because we're curating it, so we know that it's correct. So first of all, we can use it as an internal training tool, so that our agents can know this kind of thing at the click of a button, and then you can then start to provide it, to try and attract clients, because that's what we want to do, and say, listen, if you've got questions about this,
so this is you offering value to your clients.
Exactly. Yeah. So the most basic version would be questions about buying. So where can I buy, how much is it going to cost, this kind of stuff. And then you need to get into more details about, okay, if you're an investor, where's the best place to invest, what are your returns looking like, and then even more information you can add in on, the locations. This tower, how many units has it got in it?
It would be interesting,
what are
and I'm
the
sure
sizes?
you may not have done this before, but it raises the question, how many people are using AI now to help them with their real estate issues anywhere in the world?
Yeah, it's a great question. The only one that's really available now is ChatGPT, although I think Elon Musk has got something called Grok or something like that. And all of that has been trained on the internet I think it was 2001. So it doesn't have up-to-date information when you ask ChatGPT, where's the best place to buy in Abu Dhabi, or whatever it might have.
What does it control the internet live?
No, not ChatGPT. You can build something that can control the internet live, but ChatGPT doesn't.
Really?
It's only been trained on the internet pre-2021. That was my last information. I'm sure they're gonna build it up to do it live, but they had to. They couldn't test the information if it was constantly being updated. So they just said, okay, like we're cutting a line here, then we're testing it for a year and a half to make sure that it comes out okay, and then it's going live.
So it's still in its beta.
Yeah.
Mode, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say
that.
Yeah. And so, just purely for chat models, that's a useful way of using AI in real estate. And so hopefully, and I'm sure the Dubai government's very up on this kind of thing. Maybe they will want to institute a form of it to help buyers, because and Abu Dhabi's a big one about this as well. Like, you really want foreign direct investment. People are nervous about buying in markets that they don't understand. What's the law surrounding this? What happens if my tenant defaults?
A long time before people put their trust in something like ChatGPT, an AI droid. People as a species, we believe people. It's not so easy for us to believe a robot, even though you can say, well, this robot is 1,000 times more accurate. People believe people.
Yeah. So the best way to do that would be have it annotated and say, you can kick your tenant out by doing this, this, and this, and this is where I found the information. So you can go and double check it, because at the moment when people do their own research, they're just going online anyway. ChatGPT might have even written the article that you're relying on, for that information. But if it's the information from, government website or the court's website or whatever, and you can verify that information yourself, ChatGPT would then just be a good way of collating.
So it's more about the data behind any property market and any property purchase. So it's good for investors, but it's probably not going to be in the end outcome particularly good for end users.
No, I think it would be good for end users too, because people have got a lot of questions about buying. It's probably not the same in Dubai, but in Abu Dhabi, maybe 10% of the population own their own property, probably less. So you've got a whole 90% of people who...
1 in 10%, and one of the 10%. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So special.
Creme de la creme. And so there's a huge amount of people who might actually want to buy if they had reliable information on buying. And again, we're in markets where that information isn't reliable, or there's too many sources, which, for example, real estate agents are a bad example of this. There's so many sources of real estate agents, and you can't be sure necessarily which ones are telling you the right thing. If you can go somewhere and you have that clear information, that might make people feel more comfortable.
To fact check what they've been told before, if they think they're a real estate agent, because ultimately, AI, in my humble opinion, will never replace the soft skills of being a real estate agent.
So that's
going out
question,
and viewing and understanding what someone wants. Somebody, who wants to buy a house can fact check the information behind the house or the apartment or whatever it is that they buy, but you will never be able to replace the soft skills of being able to handhold somebody through a purchase, to do the viewing, to extol the virtues of this unit, the finishes, the time and effort that has gone into to creating it. But it is undeniable that the information behind all of that, to have it clearly mapped out in front of you has huge value.
Yeah, I think people are worried that AI will one day be able to mimic humans so perfectly that they will replace us, and that's probably true.
You can already do it on a phone, can't you? You've got to have your safe word in case a member of your family calls you begging for money because they've been ransomed, right?
Yeah, but I presume that that's just working to a script as opposed to actually analysing your responses and then responding in a way that it thinks is correct. Yeah,
it's been a while since I did.
Yeah, I mean, you and I did another podcast on whether humans will be whether real estate agents will be replaced by technology, and AI is another thing like that. And probably in Dubai, you've got buildings around the place where someone, this is for rental mostly, where someone goes in, keys are with security, they just give them a key, go up, if you like it, rent it. Right, that
sounds like Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's Abu Dhabi. Absolutely. If you like it, rent it. No, they don't want to pay for a real estate agent. They don't want to pay for a hand holding. They don't want to pay for someone to talk them through it or sell them the unit or anything like that. They're like, go look at the unit. If you like it, take it. Right. So there's
Here's
still
the code for the lockbox.
Yeah, there's still a huge number of people out there who believe that that they don't believe in sales or salesmen or salespeople or the value of that. I
agree with you. I don't think real estate agents should be salespeople. I don't think you should try and persuade someone to buy something at all. If they walk in, what is it? We've said this before time and time again. The old adage is true. You know within the first 30 seconds of walking into a house whether you will buy it or not, or whether you're even interested or not. From that point onwards, if you walk in and I can see somebody does not like this unit, I don't think it's the right thing for you to do to try and hard sell them into buying it, especially for an end user.
Yeah.
Because if it isn't right for you, it isn't right. My job as a soft skill is to understand what somebody wants and go get it for them. And then after that, to secure it at the price that they want. That soft skill, I don't think will ever be replaced by a robot. Unless you get to the stage where you don't know that you're dealing with a robot because robots are so akin to humans, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, but when you talk about that, Sals, and I agree with you completely, that there are methods of persuasion, but the most powerful one is to know what your client wants. Right, and to do that, you qualify them, you ask them qualifying questions, you find out about their requirements and their background and their school and family and all this kind of stuff and what they've seen before and all these qualifying questions, and then you build up a picture in your mind of what it is that they want, and you try and then go and show that to them. I think AI could easily replicate that as long as it had all the information, but I don't know, we'll see.
You're dead to me.
Our business is dead to us. I don't want to talk
to you anymore. Right, guys, that has been it for this podcast on how AI can affect and help the real estate market. I have been Barney from Dubai.
I've been Ben from Abu Dhabi.
We have been the Two Fat Brokers.
See you next time.
We'll see you again. Bye.